So this is basically a first video on Linux commands. So in this video I will show you 10 useful Linux commands. These commands are very handy and will be very helpful for your day-to-day automation tasks. This is the first video on this topic, and if you are interested, then please like, comment and share and subscribe to this channel. So, and the more advanced topics will be discussed in the upcoming videos. So the commands that I will discuss today is, the first command is pwd. So present working directory, so it means it will just print out the present location of you in the shell. So if you just press this command, it will show you the present working directory, and there is basically 5 different directories, subdirectories on this directory. If you go to any of this directory like this, now if you press the pwd command, it will show you the present directory as well. Now the next command that I will discuss is mkdir. So let's say you want to create some new directory over here. Okay, so there is basically 5 different directory. You want to create a new directory. So for this you can use the command like mkdir. So let's say you want to create a directory with name A, so you can just use this mkdir A. So if you see there, the A directory is being created over here. So that is basically empty directory. And if you want to create the hierarchy of directory, like you want to create directory B, and within the directory B there is another directory C you want to create. So for this case you have to use mkdir -p B subdirectory C. Okay, now see the B directory is created, and if you go to the B directory, there is the subdirectory within B. So if you use the pwd command over here, you can clearly see that within B directory there is a subdirectory C is being created. So by using this cd .. / you can go back to your parent directory. So right now you are in here, so you can see that AB directory is created. So for more information you can use the man page. So if you go to the man page of mkdir, it will give you more options. Whatever options can you use? So it is written mkdir is make directories. By using P, it is parent. By using V -V, it is the verbose command. Okay, now let's say you want to create directory D and E. Okay, now within the E directory you want to create another directory. Within the E directory you want to create the F directory. Okay, so what you can use just this mkdir -p for parent, V for verbose. So you want to create the directory D, and E, within E you want to create directory F. That's what we want. So you can see it is just printing the status that D and E is created, and F directory, F subdirectory under the E directory is also being created. So if you go to the E directory, you can see the F directory is just within this. So the next command that I am gonna discuss is the rm command. So rm means remove. Okay, so by using the rm and with different options you can remove the directory as well as files. So let's first see the man page of rm. So it is clearly saying the remove files or directories. Okay, so by using these options you can emulate very different functionality of the rm. So by using -d you can remove empty directories. By using -v you can just use the verbose option on. So let's have a practical example of this. So you can remember I just created few different directories while trying to explain the mkdir command. Now I will use the rm command to remove these directories. So you want to remove the directories, that's why you have to use the -r command as well. So let's use the -r command. R for directory removal, A for forceful, and V for verbose. You have to remove A, B, D and E, D and E. So let's see, all these directories is being cleared. So the next command is echo. So the echo command will basically show you whatever you want to print within that line. So let's first look at the echo man page. So you can see by using various options, like by using -a n, it's just do not output to the trailing new line, and you can use these options as well for various new purpose. So let's use the first basic echo command. So echo, and let's say you want to print any line. This is a sunny day. So that is being printed. Let's say you want to set one variable value and you want to paste the variable value. Let's say you want to set the variable value x with the value of 20. Now you want to print out the value. So for this you can use this $x. So the value is shown. So this way you can use the echo command, and you can also use the echo command for other purpose also. Let's say you want to generate one notification, generate one tone while printing that thing. Okay, so for this thing you have to use the command like this, -e. So the operation of -e is it will consider the escape command after as a proper command. So A means Bill, so man echo. So if you use the command like this, so whenever this thing, the value of the x will be printed, it will generate one tone like this. So, and you can also use this command for various other purpose as well. I will show you in the next video. So the next command that I gonna use is cat command. So if you have a file and you want to see the content of the file, and then you can use the cat command. So cat basically show you all the contents within that file. Let's see the man page of cat command. So that is the concatenate files and print the standard output, and with different options. So I will come to these options as well. Let's say you want to create one file. Let's create a file first. So let's say you are giving some inputs to this file. And in the next line you want to create just one dummy input. Okay, let's save and quit. Now you have the file created, del, del. So you want to see the content of this file. So if you just put the cat command, you can see the content is being written over here with using the -e with the cat command. it will just show the empty spaces after the line and put hash, put a dollar sign over there. It's just a significance of this comment is it will show you the empty spaces, indicating that empty spaces by using the dollar command. So next comment that I want to see is head command. Let's say you have a big file. Let's say the file contains 10,000 number of lines, but you are interested to see only the first 10 lines. Then there is no point of opening the whole file altogether. So sometimes it may happen that if the file contains let's say 1 million lines, then if you want to access the file, it will take a long time, or the system will be gonna hang. That's why, but you are interested for only first 10 lines or 100 lines, then you can basically use this head command. So let's go to the man page of head command. So the the head command is saying the output first parts of this file, and there is various other options, like by using the C you can use like you want to see 100 bytes from the beginning of the file, then you can use the C option. You want to say, let's say you want to see first 10 lines from the file, then you can use the -n option. And let's say you want to see the content of which file it's basically showing. So let's say you have 10 defined file and you want to see the first 5 line of each 10 defined file altogether, then you can use this verbose command with the file that you want to see. So let's go to the actual example. So let's open the del file. We just created the del file in the previous command example. Let's open the del file. So -n for number of line you want to see, and 10 is the number of line from the beginning of the file you want to see. So you're using this command like this. So that will show you the content of the file. Let's say you have a very big file and you want to see first 10 lines from this file. Let's use this command, etc. So that will basically show you the 10 lines from the password file. And if you want to use the verbose option, you can also use this -v. So that will just show you the which file the contents are. Like let's say you want to see the content of 2 defined file, then you can use like this. Let's say you want to use the first 5 lines only. You want to see the del file and the etc password file. So you can see that the first 5 line of the password file is shown over here, and you use the verbose command, that's why it's showing the first heading with indicating which file it basically showing. So that's basically the head command. And the tail command is just doing the same thing, but it's just printing you the last n number of lines. So for the head command you are basically accessing the first 10 lines. By using the tail command you can access the last 10 or how many line you want to see. So let's go to the man page of tail. So it's similar, like you can use the number of lines you want to see, you can see the number of bytes you want to see from the beginning. So you can use the -f option. So sometimes it happens like when you are trying to access a file which is growing with time, it may happen. So by using -f file, it will be the output will be also growing. It means like if the file is growing, the output will be just printing the next line in this way. So let's go to the practical example of this. Let's you want to see the first last one line of the del. Let's just open this del file and increment few lines. Okay, so let's just print few lines. So let's just change something so that it will be helpful to distinguish whatever is printing. So let's save and close. So you want to see, so the del file basically have 8 lines. So by using the head command, let's say you want to see the first 4 lines by using head command, as it has been shown earlier as well. So it's just showing the first 4 line from this file, and by using the tail command you can print the last 4 line or whatever line you want to see. So it is just showing you the last 4 line of this file, of this del file. So you can see the last 4 line contain 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So the last 4 line is only showing. So let's say you want to access a file which is growing with time. So let's say let's write a small code that that will make the file growing, and in the meantime you can access the tail command. Okay, so for this, let's say you are taking the while loop, so it will just print the time. Let's print the time. Let's print the time, present time over here into the, let's append this into this file. Okay, and after doing this thing, let's say you want to wait for 1 second. So you should use the date over here. So it's just showing the it's just printing the date on the del file. So the del file is growing. So if you want to see the last 10 line of this del file with -f option, so let's there was a problem in this code. You have to use the redirection operator over here, okay. Now you have the tail which is growing. So if you just use this option, tail with -n and the number of line with -f, so -f basically show you the growing option on this file. So you can see the tail file is increasing, and it will just show you the last 10 line. And if you just take one thing, if you just add one notification tone with this code, then it will be much more helpful for you to distinguish. So just add -e with the backward a, that will just bill. Okay, so you can see it is being giving the notification, and it's showing the last 10 line of this del file. So next comment I want to discuss is the grep comment. So let's say you have a file, okay, and you want to find some pattern or string within that file. So you want to check some pattern within this file, so then you can use the grep comment. And the another use of grep comment is, let's say you have a directory, and within the directory there is many subdirectory, and within that subdirectory there are many files and another directory, but you're just interested to know whether any file within any subdirectory contains a particular string or not. So then you can also use the grep comment. So let's go to the man page of grep. So it's showing like it has the various options like v. So by using v option, you basically want to find strings except the string that you have been giving. So I will just go to the particular example of this. So by using the -c option, it will show you the number of lines that the pattern actually matching, and there should be -n option as well, -n option. Okay, so that will show you the line number of the actual line that the string actually contained within this line. Okay, so let's say you have that del file. So what is the content of the del file? It is this, because you have been written. So let's say you want to find the pattern like fourth from this del file. Okay, so for this you can use grep minus so there is no need to give any option over here. You just give the pattern that you want to find and the file name. So see, the line that contains that pattern you want to search is being printed over here. And let's say you want to see the number of line that this pattern actually contains. So for this you have to use the -n option. So it will print the number of line, which is line number, basically the 4. So the fourth line basically contains the your option. Let's say you want to find another pattern first, so that will show you that the line number is A1. So the first line basically contains that file, that pattern. Okay, and by using the -c option, it will show the number of line that contains that pattern. So let's say the first, so that pattern is basically occurred 1 times within the whole file. Let's add another pattern of this file. Okay, so echo this is second times first. So let's append this within this del file. So now the del file contains this line. Oh, there is this. Okay, so you just add one line with containing this pattern, and there was another pattern, it's the same pattern which is in the first line. So if you use this thing, so that will show you the number of occurrence, so number of lines that contain. So see, the first pattern is basically contained it 2 times, and if you use the -n command, it will show you the line number basically with the particular line that this pattern is contained. Okay, Now let's say you want to use you want to search any other pattern except the first, so then you should use the -v command. Okay, so that will basically show you the all the patterns except the first, except this thing. Okay, so let's say you want to use the -r option, so that this -r option basically emulate the recursive search, so you can find that which file basically contains this particular pattern. So there are this many files. Using -r option, you want to use the pattern like maybe third, so that means you want to find this pattern in this directory. So the output is this, the del, this file basically contains the pattern. So the next command that I'm gonna discuss is the redirection parameter operator. Okay, so by using the redirection, you can redirect the output to anywhere. You can redirect the standard output to the standard error file. So there is basically 3 number that is being assigned for 3 different things. So 0 is assigned for the standard input, 1 is assigned for the standard output, and 2 is assigned for the standard error. So if you want to if you want to print the standard output, then you should use the 1, and if you want to print the standard error, then you should use the option 2. So the basic use of this redirection operator is to redirect the output that is being generated to one particular file. So the output that is being generated would not be printed within the terminal. So that's the basic usage. So let's say so you have created the file which is del, so you want to print, so you just redirect the output. Like if you use the cat command for this del file, that will just print you all the contents within this del file. Okay, so let's say you want to redirect the output to some file, output file. Okay, so nothing will be printed, but everything will be stored within this output file, because that is being redirected by using this greater than command. So you can see the output file is being created, and if you see whatever the value within this output file is just the value within the del is. Now you can use you can also print the error that is being generated. So for printing the errors, you have to use the standard output, which is the value is the file descriptor value is 2. Okay, so let's say you want to make some error. So you have this del file. Okay, so this file, so you can do one thing. You can redirect the output as well as the errors to this error file. So for this you have to do &1. So the fd &1 means that is for the output, and fd fd2 is for the error. So everything will be printed to this error file. So look at the error file. So that's contains the output that is being generated by this command ls. Okay, now okay, now you want to make another error, so you just use the cat command to a dummy file which is not even exist over here, and you want to print the output. So that will basically generate an error. Okay, so you want to redirect this error to a file, and let's say you want to print the del output to over here. So what you can do is you can redirect this like this, and to a file. You can redirect the output to a file. output file, and so there will be no space. Okay, and you want to print the error to another file, which is error file. Okay, so if you just check the error file, so that basically prints the error that is being generated, because there is no FFFF file over here. So the error is being generated and the error is redirected to this error file, and the content of error file is the error that is going to be generated, which is this. And if you look at the output file, that is basically the content of this del file, because you are using the cat for this del file. So this output is the file is descriptor 1, and that is going to print on this output file. Oops. Okay, now you can use one thing. You can just print the errors as well as the output to a particular file by just using this command that I have also shown you earlier. This way, let's say you want to print everything in the all file. Okay, so you just have to redirect the output, and you have to redirect the errors to the output as well. So if you open this all file, you have the error that is being generated as well as the output that is being generated by this cat del command. Okay, last command that I gonna discuss today is the time command. So by using this time command, you basically have the output, which is the time that has been taken to execute any command. So let's say you want to use the time command for maybe any other command you want to use. Let's make a code, make a script, and then run it with the time command. Okay, so let's say you want to use the for loop. So basically this is the Shivan line. You want to use the for loop, and you want to run this for loop for 10 times. Okay, now you're gonna print the value of I maybe. Okay, and now you want to sleep for 1 second, and then you're gonna end. Okay, it's a small script. It will show you the working of the time command. So you have this script over here. So let's run this script. First you have to make it executable, plus x. So that is executable right now. Now you want to run this command. So as you can see, the run command basically shows you like this taking like 10 seconds, because you want to run this loop for the 10 times, and each iteration you are taking 1 second sleep. That's why it's taking the 10 second. That is basically use of this time command. So if you guys like this video, please like, comment and share and subscribe, and more advanced scripting codes will be uploaded in the next video. Thank you. Thanks for listening.